Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the show, Russell Crab Radio.
Yes.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
An escort service. Renting out skanks.
Did I tell you that there used to be an escort service ran out of my apartment? She used to have a client that would pay her so he could suck the milk out of her lactating nipple.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Remember the Pollo Bandito?
Correct.
I went there for Cinco de Mayo. They've changed the menu.
Is it... What happened?
There's no longer a Pollo Bandito.
What is it, a Yankee Bandito?
No, I am totally not making this up. The food item there that was the Pollo Bandito, still there. Only now, it is called, I'm not making this up, the Pollo Fundito.
I just like it when people put the word fun in front of things.
In front of food items, right?
Hello, everyone. This is your Action News reporter with all the news that is news across the nation on the scene at the supermarket. There seems to have been some disturbance here. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I did. I was standing over there by the tomatoes, and here he comes.
It's a known fact that Blueberry is my favorite cereal of all time when I was a child. But do you know what my second favorite cereal was when I was a child? You'll never guess.
I'm sure I won't.
It was called CW Post.
I remember that cereal. I didn't even understand what the name of it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's like eating a cereal. It's like eating a cereal entitled Artie Reynolds. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But anyway, it was good, though, wasn't it, man? It had like granola, and it had a bunch of sweet stuff, like grape nuts. What happened to CW Post?
Maybe he's no longer with us.
Maybe he transitioned into the television network business.
Perhaps, there you go. So that cereal stuff, I'm not making enough money.
Yeah, these kids today, when they think of a CW Post, they think of a guy getting rammed into the side of a wrestling ring on a Friday night. No. CW Post is the second greatest cereal of all time. I tell you to Google it, but there's no information on the net. It's like it didn't even exist.
Only here, obscure wrestling news, right here on Wrestle Crap Radio. I want to talk a little bit about the election dealing majobbers. The primaries were recently. They were this week here in Indiana, as everybody knows.
Right.
Probably heard that Hillary Clinton squeaked by a victory here against our friend Barack.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I actually ask Mrs. Deal. I said, Mrs. Deal, who are you going to vote for in this election? And she goes, I'm not making this up. And she was as serious as a heart attack. She goes, I was going to vote for Obama, but every time I see him now, I hear, if you smell what Barack is cooking, and I cannot vote for a man that would say that.
That whole thing, John McCain, Obama, and Hillary Rodham Clinton, is so embarrassing. Seriously. Can you visualize seeing Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale on, like, wrestling? I mean, Ronald Reagan, him being on, like, wrestling back then. It's so ludicrous. Same way with Michael Dukakis. Why not have him be the guest manager of the Mega Powers at SummerSlam '88?
I feel like I'm talking to, like, Doc Brown.
No.
Question of the week time. question of the week time. It's not award-winning, not prize-winning, but it is, in fact, the question of the week. And if you, fellow crappers, want to chime in and get your question read on the air, all you have to do is go to WrestleCrap.com, go to the WrestleCrap radio link, and we have a little hyperlink there, and you can send in your questions. And if your question is adequate, let's face it, how much competition do you have? There's only 11 other people that listen to this show.
And I swear to God, it seems like every third week that fine young egg, Seth Draken, sends the question in.
Not this week. Must be the second week, because it's 15th listener. He says he's the 15th listener. I don't know how he would get these numbers. I don't know if he has some type of WrestleCrap Radio census going on.
Maybe he gets the overnights. He figures out.
He gets our ratings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Eric Bischoff ever looks at our ratings. Remember he used to be, obsessed with them?
I bet he is obsessed with our ratings.
I bet who wouldn't be obsessed with the WrestleCrap Radio ratings?
Wouldn't it be hot if he tried to, raid... Wouldn't it be hot if he tried to raid talent from this show in order to pluck listeners away from us? He would, fork out a bunch of, an outrageous sum of money to get Crankor away from us?
I would really hope Crankor wouldn't, Hey, Crankor, I got a question for you. If Eric Bischoff came up to you and offered you a bunch of money, what would you say to him, buddy?
This is the end for you.
See? Crankor's not going anywhere.
He's loyal. He reminds me of Tommy Dreamer and from ECW.
Mm-hmm. Question of the week is from 15th listener Austin Gilliam, who writes...
Now, I remember this guy because I remember we had a 5-minute discussion about how to say his name last time.
Well, this week I just went like that. Just rolled right through.
Is it Gilliam or Gilliam?
Gilliam. Can we continue, please, so this show is not 6 hours long?
All right. I will not make any Creature from the Black Lagoon references in regards to the first half of his name. Gillman. Wonder if anybody has ever called Austin the Gillman. Reminds me of did I ever tell you that I starred in a horror movie where I wore a bootleg Creature from the Black Lagoon mask and ran around filthy? That Creature from the Black Lagoon mask wearing character of mine was named Scales, like a fish, and I made a MySpace page, a tribute page to him, myspace.com/scaleface. And check this out. When Kevin Smith made Clerks 2, he, all the first 10,000 friends of the MySpace page were listed in the credits. So yes, if you go out and rent Clerks 2, my bootleg Creature from the Black Lagoon mask wearing horror movie character is listed in the credits of Clerks 2. Scales, a.k.a. Spellface. How's that for obscure Clerks Blade Braxton news?
Fellow crappers, I'm gonna break character here for a moment, if I may.
His name was Gillman, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I'm gonna break character for a second. I'm gonna take the headphones off. I'm gonna explain to you something. Before we started the show this evening, I actually said to Mr. Braxton, we have a lot of stuff to cover. You can't go off on tangents. Don't go off on tangents, or this show is gonna be, pardon my French, 6 fucking hours long! Now?
The guy, the first half of his name was Gil.
As the hours tick on, and as I'm laying on my deathbed, I'm going to be thinking, boy, I'd have had 5 more hours on this earth if it weren't for that night that I told Blade, we got a lot of stuff to cover. Don't go off on a bunch of fucking tangents.
His last name is close to resembling the Gillman. The Gillman. For Christ's sakes, you have the Creature from the Black Lagoon pinball machine in your house. I've played the fucker. This is my only chance to talk about my Creature from the Black Lagoon bootleg mask character being in the credits of Clerks 2,
And
one of my favorite movies of all time.
And I begged him, please, don't make this show 6 hours long. No one wants to listen to a 6-hour show. But it doesn't matter, because anytime there's some nothing happening tangent, he has to go off on it.
People tune in for Creature from the Black Lagoon references. What's the question? Let's get the show rolling.
Dear Mr. Braxton, please describe your first alcoholic experience if you can remember it.
I was... Let's see here. That's the thing, man. You know, I don't have like a big bombastic story of like being drunk and, you know, doing stuff like that. I just, you know, I was like 16 and I used to work at a grocery store and I would just go into the back and it was like it resembled a mom and pop grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Fally's, affiliated with the Food for Less Corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just drink beer in the back. And we'd throw it in the trash can. I wish I could have something more exciting than that.